Hey guys, it's Nolan and Jason here with Roofing Webmasters.
Howdy.
All right, today's it's an old, my wife would get on to me if she knew I had this title on this thing, but Dazed and Confused, Roofer Digital Marketing Explained. I have a secondary title is Google Keeps Getting Older, but the Game Remains the Same.
Right.
So, old Matthew McConaughey reference, and it's a very old movie. I wouldn't even watch that now. It's so old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's 90s, right? Yeah. Yeah, early 90s.
And horribly inappropriate, especially today. He was an old dirty bastard on
that.
Anyway,
Trolling for high school.
Trolling for high school girls. All right, so, but I wanted to do this one today because just so many people confused. And it hasn't gotten any better. People always say the same thing. Well, I don't want to say I'm no good at digital, but I don't know what, I don't know, but I don't want to have to do this on my own. And I'm like, but people feel very insecure about it, basically. And then they get upset and they have bad experiences with other people, and it sets off into this horrible thing. They're so confused about it, so messed up, and they can't find their path. I'm going to talk about a few things, but if I had to just lay something down, people literally give up.
Yeah.
And when I say you gave up because you had a bad experience, then people say, well, no, I haven't. I said, yes, you have, as evidenced by your website that never gets changed or done anything to.
You've had it sitting up there and done nothing with it in 5 years. That's giving up.
You quit paying anybody to help you with it.
Yeah.
You villainized everybody in the industry of digital marketing. And now you get a few reviews and you wonder why things are bad. Yeah. And now you spend a ton of money on lead sources and paid ads. And it's crazy. Like, it's just slap crazy to me. I don't understand it. I'll never really understand it. I'm not the type of guy to just roll over and let shit happen to me. Even if I don't understand shit. And if I don't understand shit,
I'm not going to comment.
I'll figure it out. You can make it. You make your little comments. Go ahead and make your little comment.
I don't even think I have to at this point.
Anyway, you thinking bad, man. You and Matthew McConaughey, you be in jail for that.
No, my favorite clients are the ones that say, I don't get how this works, so tell me, and then they listen.
Even if they I'll understand concepts, but I don't ever get down and do the work. Of it. It's not what I do. There's certain things I do for work, but I'm not gonna get down and I don't make a website. I don't go in.
You don't go in, design websites and write content. No,
I don't write code. I don't do any of that, but I understand it a little bit, enough to get along. People will go into this business and they'll have a roofing business. They'll get burned by a digital marketing agency and then basically quit. Just flat quit. And if you
they'll apply that bad experience to not only all agencies, but Google itself. Google itself is a scam, is evil, whatever.
Yeah, Google's part of the New World Order and all this stuff, and maybe they are. I don't know. But they've got the largest free platform ever developed for small business. They've done more good for small business than anything.
Yeah.
Name something bigger, better.
You
than
absolutely
Google.
can.
So when people take that line on it, I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to go there with it. They have given you, so someone say, oh, you hate Google. Well, take your website down. What? You crazy?
That's crazy.
Am I crazy? Like you said, you hated them. They're horrible people. I said, no, actually, they're a group of people that have developed the biggest platform ever known to man for free marketing. And you've made tons of money for it. You just want to make more.
Do they abuse that platform to make money? Absolutely.
They do.
But you can make money too.
Yeah, sometimes. I don't think the paid's what it used to be.
No.
Wow, we focus on organic.
Right.
So when I see somebody having given up, now spending, let's just say $5,000 a month on various paid things.
And that's low.
Yeah, it's low. Yeah, maybe. Let's just say they spend $5,000, and organic optimization constitutes over 70% of the clicks. Let's just say 75% for easy math.
Right.
So 3 out of 4 clicks are on a non-paid item, but because the roofer got burned by some idiot in his mom's basement or some huge corporation, one somewhere in between.
Yeah.
They've now given up and villainized all organic optimization and basically had given up entirely by not paying anyone for professional services to help them, letting their website go stagnant, and then having to buy their damn leads for like 4 times more money. Let's just go on those numbers.
Yeah.
If you had a certain amount of people coming into 3/4 of the leads and a certain amount coming into 1/4 of the leads, but the 3/4 of the leads are free, basically, are free.
Free after you pay us.
After you pay. Yeah, that's the rub. That's what pisses people off.
Yeah.
And then people will quit off of testosterone and principle of the matter.
Yeah.
By God, I don't understand it. And that dirty, dumb geek.
I can't draw a direct line
Right.
from this action that you guys took, that we took, to these calls.
Well, I'm not throwing us. We do good services.
This is the client saying that. The client, cannot draw that line
To what they did.
because it's a fuzzy line. SEO is fuzzy. And so they get mad about it because they can't attribute it definitively.
Right. So if somebody's working, if an agency works, which there are obviously good agencies like Roofing Webmasters, they're very few.
Yeah.
We're one of only a few. But if you have design and code and content dialed in better, you have stuff set up better URL structuring and better domain authority, and you have those things done better, you'll optimize better. But that's not all of it. You know, you have to have stuff like data pens and get quality digital branded signaling out there. I had a guy just argue with me about that and said, well, I don't think that this is branded. It's not branded. He said, this isn't Coca-Cola. I said, no, it's not Coca-Cola. It's a digital brand for a local company on Google's local platforms.
When we say brand, we're not talking about a fuzzy concept of
People,
brand story and you being equivalent to the object in the public's
I
eye.
hate that.
and
You know
all
I
that
hate that crap,
stuff.
Jason.
We're talking about Google recognizing your business and seeing how it's associated with the services it provides and its location.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Nolan Walker here for Data Pens. You may not know, but I own a software company, and we have a proprietary software called Data Pens, DATAPINS. You can search it at datapens.com. This is not white labeled. I actually own this piece of software, and I made it for you. It was made for contractors. You can actually take pictures of jobs, up to 6, make a caption about the material, the brand, the situation, the repairs, and post that back to your individual pages on your website, just like that. It's super simple. Anyone could use it. It also texts and emails your clients direct links to your reviews, so it helps reputation and reviews, which helps conversion and map placement. The geo coordinate gets grabbed by data pens, and Google can tell where you are. So instead of them just seeing reviews, they see all jobs or even estimates that you do. This vastly outperforms just getting reviews. Helps the map show up, helps organic keywords, and remember those captions that you're putting in there help expand the keywords per page, and it's great regular content. I love it. We made it just for you. It is organic optimization on steroids for both your website, your rankings, and the map placement. Check out Data Pens. I think you'll be happy you did. I told this guy I was talking to, and I said, you're clearly not ready for this, because he didn't understand. If the business owner doesn't understand that they are championing their branded digital signaling,
Right.
if they can at least accept that concept, that if I decide to drop my website off, not have any professional services because I've villainized all that because I got emotionally damaged 1, 2, 3 times. And we talk about this all the time. It's like, I have lately, but you know, people talk about it, we're the only stinking industry where people get some sort of negative experience and then they quit.
Yeah.
Almost altogether. It's like, but you can do.
I had a bad apple. Well, the hell with apples.
Screw. I had one bad apple. You know, I said, so you bought another apple? No. you didn't. I hadn't bought an apple in 18 years.
Do you like
It's
apples? I love them, but I've never eaten another one.
I love apples, but screw them. In fact, screw the whole state of Washington. Yeah. But that's essentially what it is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So people will have a bad experience or two, and then they'll just stop. And it's the stopping, and then it's the misunderstanding of what is going on. Well, you're championing your digital branded signaling. And if you can get some good digital branded signaling regularly without faking or trying to fake out or trick Google or dish up crappy blogs or copied content.
I think that's actually a huge part of the problem is SEO is looked at as a weird bag of tricks. You're trying to trick Google.
They look at it that way.
That's what I'm saying. Is kind of the general public looks at it that way. And it's not. It's providing good experience and content to your customers, and Google seeing that and giving that to your customers, and giving good data to Google so that they understand what you're about.
Yeah, but not data trying to game Google.
Yeah,
but data through Google to give a good user experience.
Right.
Yeah. So reviews is one of them, but it's only one of them. So when I say somebody dropped their web presence, if they just get reviews, they gave up. They largely gave up. And what's even more frustrating about that is because they might still get a little results here and there, but they're missing 50 to 500% of their business.
Yeah, it can be a huge game changer if you do everything right.
Yeah, if you do it all right, then you show up for more keywords and mapping, you show up more frequently, and then you show up on organic. But most people, if they get anything, they just get, well, it's just the Google Maps. It's like, no, it's your overall health of your brand, your roofing company's digital brand signaling. So reviews, data pins, geo coordinates, unique content that's valuable, unique photos and changes and updates to the website, direct traffic, traffic from other entities like maybe a Facebook account or direct branded search of your brand.
Yeah.
And really, we don't know. They track hundreds of things. So time on the website, the amount of new clients that came through.
Yeah. New unique visitors.
New visitors.
A big metric.
New visitors is kind of the way that they might denote that the brand is healthy in other ways, and actually makes things show up better.
Yeah.
And so all those synergies work together. But since you said there's not a direct line, people give up.
Well, I'm saying that people don't think there's a direct, or they can't see it.
Right.
Yeah.
So all that stuff actually helps. They might have actually done something with the community and gotten some more direct traffic, and Google sees the unique visitors and literally ups their ranking.
Yeah.
And then they quit the community event. They fired their web department or their web people, and then things begin to stall out and they have a bad summer or a bad year, and they're like, well, what happened? Well, you decided not to do any marketing, fire your web crew, have your website go completely stagnant.
You stopped doing everything you were doing, of course, and it's just the truth. You don't get to stop. You can't stop marketing. Right. You will never hit a point where you don't have to do that anymore until you retire.
Yeah, I know, and I just at 50 years old, I want to stop all the time.
Yeah, you definitely like to say, we're good, let's coast.
But I think it was around the age of, I used to think around the age of 30, it's stupid, I don't know why, but I can't be the only human that thought this way. It's like, well, I'll get enough experience someday. By the time I'm 35, I won't have to learn much more, And you never thought this?
I did. Everybody does.
Yeah.
But what we didn't know growing up is when we were 35, the entire world was going to completely change.
Yeah. And then when you turn 40, and then finally about the time I was 42 or 3, I'm like, oh shit.
This never ends.
It's never. this isn't going to stop. Yeah. And then later, by the time I'm my age now, probably around 47, 48, it's like, I ain't ever stopping. And I'm going to go and I'm dogging it all the way to the end. Whatever I'm doing, I'm going all in all the time. And, we're really high on some keyword rankings from some good people here that we work with, of course. And we've fought for that over the course of time, we show up extremely high for stuff like roofer SEO, roofing SEO, and other stuff and other ones that we're in. But we fought, man, and we hadn't stopped, and we kept going, keep innovating. And is from a marketing perspective, for some reason, is the thing that people tend to like drop on the digital side.
Yeah, they want to get to they want to get to where they're getting X number of calls a day, and then they want to stop paying for it.
Yeah, so when they get busy, I kind of got off that point, but you were basically making a point. It's like roofer gets busy and then stops. And it's like, well, hey, it's Big Shot here. Man, we roofing the shit out of this town.
I got 6 months worse jobs lined up.
We don't
need you guys
we don't
now.
need you no more.
Yeah.
And no,
I've had that call many times. Yeah.
It's like, thanks for everything and smell you later. And it's like, oh, that's not a good idea. It's like, you can't stop sending in digital signaling. It's like, well, why? But because Google looks at that daily and compares you to your competitors in your marketplace. And if you don't look like you're as good of a user experience and not as trusted and don't have as much signaling sent in, you'll sink in ranking. It's like, oh. And I think I've told you this story before. This guy was such an arrogant ass, but I had a guy, and he was a best sales guy I ever had. I was sitting there at my desk, and I had canceled direct mail. We used to direct mail new homeowners for home security.
Yeah.
So I would cancel the direct mail. I canceled multiple yellow pages. I think we might have had, no, I didn't have a Valpacker money. Ad pages, those all sucked all the
Nobody
time.
knows it. Nobody under any age of 40
money
knows
mailer,
what you're talking
ad
about.
pages. Yeah, they do. They all know what they are. My kid got those and opened them the other day.
Yeah.
He's like, what is this? He's like 13.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a Valpak. And he's like, why is this in here? I was like, well, Nolan, people pick through these pieces of paper and then they might call the company. He said, and they send this out and pay for it. I was like, yeah. It's like, that's all we used to have, bro. That was it. And he's like, what's stupid? And I was like, well, it's inefficient, but there's still people paying for it, as you can see. The stack's smaller than it used to be.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so I mean, people get busy, do stuff, but yeah, you've got to stay on your marketing game. You need professional services like roofing webmasters. You need tools like data pins to send out better signaling. You need to stay away from people that are hacks or going to use AI content, copied content, or get you leads out of Mumbai, India, or something like that. So those things you want to stay away from because those are bad signals that come through. You know, it's like, hey, these guys are trying to trick us with these horribly dumb blogs that nobody wants to read.
Right.
Or, hey, these guys are sending in leads out of all these countries other than the USA. And they're obviously fake.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, these guys do these stupid updates to the site. And it's like, you know, it's like.
They give us content that's meaningless that everybody else has done 100 times.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll have people call up and they'll say, well, I got a site up. And I said, yeah, I see it. It's like, it looks like a Wix site. And they're like, yeah, that's the cheapest one you could find, right? And they're like, yeah, it was a pretty good deal. I said, yeah. I said, or was it? And it's like, you don't get any business of it. No, I said,
well no, of course not.
Of course. It's like, well, you can work on it, right? And I was like, well, not if you want to show up in ranking. And they're like, I was like, you bought the cheapest website that money could buy. And I'm glad that you have it connected to .com because it started the relationship of trust and time and, you know, and tenure on Google.
Yeah.
But it
established the fact of your existence.
Right.
It didn't do much other than that.
But it's the cheapest stinking website you could find. It needs to be a better website. You know, we make new WordPress websites for people who are serious about showing up online.
Right.
And I said, if you had some, very rarely, but every once in a while somebody has one, it's like, yeah, the website doesn't look, you know, not horrible, we can work on it. But yeah, people will come up and have this website, and then it's like, well, your job is to like produce a great, you know, user experience and good digital signaling to Google and have, and when you have, you've been confined to the CRM that was made for literally the most basic person that could do stuff to be able to do stuff, like the average person, then it's literally the worst thing that you could put online.
What is it George Carlin said? Think about how dumb the average person is. Half of people are dumber than that.
He was a brilliant man. He was brilliant. And I miss him and Kinnison was the best, man.
Bill Hicks.
Who?
Bill Hicks was awesome.
Who was Bill Hicks again?
He wasn't around very long. He died young. He got cancer.
Oh, would he yell like Kinnison or something?
No, he was actually kind of. He had laid back demeanor, but he was at the same time very cynical about everything. He was awesome. Look him up.
Well, shit, that sounds like me a little bit.
Yeah, you probably like.
Damn it! You can always tell when they're gonna die, or like Farley or Kinnison. You're like, oh, that guy's awesome, but he ain't gonna last.
He wasn't like hugely overweight like Farley or anything like that. He did but he smoked like a chimney and got cancer. So
like Andrew Dice
Clay.
Clay.
I don't know if it was lung cancer.
Is Andrew Dice Clay still alive?
I think he's still in residency in Vegas.
Is he? Oh, wow.
He's been doing that for years.
Yeah. He would chain smoke like crazy.
Oh, yeah. Never without.
Had those horrible nursery rhymes. You remember all that stuff?
We can't repeat those these days.
No, they're horrible. Nolan Walker here for Roofing Webmasters. I want you to consider becoming one of our clients. We've done this for 12 years, have hundreds of clients. We help everybody with their design, their code, their content, showing up on Google as high as possible. Clients get regular call volume. If you've never experienced what I call the big show, showing up on Google organically, which is where the vast majority of the clicks occur, on your map, your reputation, your reviews, your organic keyword ranking, you owe it to yourself to try us. We even have proprietary software that we own called data pens that lets you post pictures of jobs, unique captions that increase keywords and long tail keywords, your rankings on Google, text and emailing clients about reviews, even posting pins and photos and captions back to Google. All this helps your organic rankings. Data pens is fantastic, and the work we do here at Roofing Webmasters is fantastic. Please give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. All right, so sum this stuff up. I mean, try not to be confused about it. Try and get over it. Just, by God, get over it. You know, it's like, go ahead.
Yeah. No, finish your thought.
Get over just being burned by somebody, you know. Yeah. Having those bad experiences are part of life, and you have them with other stuff too. And you might have a few more and not understand what's happening to you when somebody calls and lies to you about digital marketing, but not everybody's bad, and you need help. It's a professional service that needs help. It's definitely part of your digital signaling is having professional services to have the proper code base and signals and updates and changes and data pens and things like that going out there. And if you just don't drop it again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is whatever you do, don't stop.
Don't stop.
Whether you're using us or somebody else, you should use us, but whatever. Don't stop. You mentioned earlier people get busy enough and they call and they want to stop. Yeah. Roofers paradoxically want to stop when they're busy and then when they're not busy. When they hit their off season, well, I want to pause everything. You can't. Yeah. You can't do that. You'll drop in ranking and then you'll be 3 months behind when your season starts. Yeah. When you're busy, I know that you have a lot of work right now, but 6 months from now that series of projects for that new home development will be over, and you don't want to lose that 6 months of ranking.
Had a guy call. I talked to a guy yesterday, and it was a decent call. I felt bad for him, but they could end up becoming a client as a roofer. And I won't say the company name, of course, but they had a website from 2011.
Wow.
And roughly a year ago, the new company told them it'd be best if they'd change the name of the URL. Oh. Now, the URL name change, because the company that I'm talking about didn't have the word roof in the name, but the URL name changed, nor did it have the word roof in the name.
So they risked all that for.
And I said, I was like, oh God. And they didn't ask me this stuff. And this is where I go off in the weeds. Probably shouldn't have discussed this with everybody, but I'm like, oh God. Did you register the domain? And I said, and they're like, well, I think so. And I'm like, no, this is at your original one's at GoDaddy. And I clicked and I said it redirected to the other one. I said, I'm guessing they registered it, sir. And I forgot his name. And like, well, yeah, I think they did register it. And I said, there's only one reason. And this is why people are burned and confused and upset. They own the domain now.
Yeah.
And it's a year old. He said, well, what can I do? I was like, I wouldn't change it again if I could keep from it. But it's been a year, so the damage is already about to be finished. And so I'm guessing you can't flip-flop it back unless you couldn't get your domain. But they own your domain. He said, I'm pretty sure we have that. I said, I'm 100% that they did this to screw you in order to get the domain. Yeah. And so that's why people get burned. And then, like, by the end of the conversation, I've gone from a potential sell to this husband and wife listening, shell-shocked and, like, staring at it. I was like, I'm sorry. There's no reason. And I didn't go into the potential for having the word roof in it. It's like maybe you're getting, even so, you still wouldn't have changed it. So there's only one reason they did it. Yeah. And now they got the.
If they had changed it to put roof in it, you could maybe understand it, but not for a domain that's over a decade old.
They thought that it would be good to rebrand it. So they listened.
That kind of thing professionally offends me.
It's offensive.
When they take an established domain and they tell them no, we want to use a different one. Unless your current domain has an accidentally offensive phrase in it or something like that, or Google, or it got hacked once and Google permanently flagged it as Al-Qaeda hacked or something like that.
Could happen.
That's about the only way you'd want to change that.
Yeah. No, it was bad stuff. But bad things happen to these guys. Stuff like that happens. They've been with this company a year. They're charging too much money, doing nothing. Changed their name, took their domain, And now the website's not doing as well.
Well, of course.
Yeah. It's like, well, it's off season. I said, but you called because it's not. I mean, they know something's wrong, right? Yeah. And then, but anyway.
It's like we're getting in toward middle of spring. It's not off season anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave you with just do stuff. Do stuff.
Don't stop.
Don't stop and don't get a review only. And if you try, you can dominate. And whatever you think you're getting, you can get hundreds and hundreds of % more. Yeah. You can literally just immersively dominate lots of categories. You're never going to get every single thing number one, but you can get literally hundreds of words to show up in mapping, hundreds of words to show up in the top 10, and just have a grand time of it, what we call the big show. Participating in Google, getting the lion's share of leads that you can, the best leads that are available on the best platform that's ever been available. And we specialize in that. Before I forget, like and subscribe, and we will see you. I'd love to hear from you. We'd love to help you out. We'll see you later.
Take it easy.